Welcome as we get started here in Calculus 2. First, going to do a little bit of a review of some important concepts from Calculus 1 that are going to just keep coming up over and over. So it's definitely good to be fresh on them. The first one is this idea of what's called the chain rule. So you may recall, hopefully you recall, that if you have a composite function, f of u of x, one function inside of another, that to do the derivative, we take the derivative of the outer function with respect to its variable u and multiply by the derivative of the inner function with respect to the variable x. And that should actually say derivative with respect to u there. Derivative with respect to u of f of u times the derivative with respect to x of u of x. And so the key is recognizing the different parts. And of course you can actually have a chain rule where you have more than two layers of composition going on. And we just have to recognize each of those pieces and then take the derivative of each piece as we go along. Okay, so for example, let's consider the function here, f of x equals sine of 5x. So we want to take the derivative of that function. It is a composite function. There's a function 5x inside of the sine function. So we let that be our u function, 5x. And then the outer function would now be sine of u. And then we use the derivative process. Now I'm going to write it out here with a little bit of detail this time. A lot of times I'll just skip to the next step. F prime now would be the derivative with respect to u of sine of u times the derivative with respect to x of u, which is 5x. So most of the time I'll just go ahead and do this step. But for this first example, just to really bring it home, I will write it out here. And then we continue on here. Derivative of sine, remember, is cosine. So that will be cosine of u times the derivative of 5x, which would be 5. And then the last thing we do is we convert everything over to the original variable, which was x. So this would be 5 times the cosine of 5x. So now we've done the derivative of sine of 5x by using the chain rule. Let's consider a second example here. G of x equals tan squared of x. Okay, so in this case here, recognize that notation squaring, what that means is that we have inside of the squaring function, we have the tangent function. So the tangent is the inside function, and the squaring is the outside function. Again, if you want to, you can take the time here to write that out. If you're comfortable doing these things without writing out as much detail as what I'm doing here, that is certainly fine. So the outer function here would be the squaring function. And so then we just do g prime. Right? It's the derivative of the outside function. So that would be 2u times the derivative of the inside function times the derivative of the inside function, which would be the derivative of tangent, which would be secant x tangent x. And then we just simplify. 2 tangent u x times secant x tangent x. And we just clean that up. And we get 2 tangent squared x secant x. Okay. So that's just a couple of examples of doing the derivative using the chain rule. We're going to do some more examples, some maybe that are a little more involved, but this is just kind of a start here to kind of introduce this idea.